In the United States, deep in the forests of the Pacific Northwest, there are those who swear they have seen Bigfoot, an enormous, hair-covered figure moving silently between the trees, leaving behind footprints that defy explanation. For decades, people have debated whether it is myth, misidentification, or something far older hiding in the wilderness. Now, imagine that same mystery, but deeper, denser, and far more isolated. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, Brazil has its own legend, and unlike Bigfoot, this one carries a roar that freezes the blood. August 12, 1937, Juruá River Acre. A rubber tapper named Manuel da Silva was heading back to camp when he heard it. It was not a jaguar, not a wild boar. This was something larger. Manuel ran and managed to survive, but what he saw that night changed him forever. He saw a Mapinguari. The Mapinguari is one of the oldest legends of the Amazon. But here is what few people know. Brazilian paleontologists believe this creature may have truly existed, and the reports continue to this day. In this video, you will discover what a Mapinguari really is, why science takes this legend seriously, and the most disturbing accounts ever documented. Stay until the end, because what you are about to hear may change the way you see the Amazon. Imagine a creature standing 8 feet tall, covered in thick, reddish, foul-smelling fur. But it is not the size that terrifies. It is the mouth. The Mura indigenous people describe a vertical mouth located on its chest, lined with fangs the size of human fingers. A Mapinguari does not strike from behind. It faces you. It stares at you. It embraces you and devours you from the front. They say its skin is so thick that bullets cannot penetrate it, that it leaves behind an unbearable stench like rotting flesh mixed with urine, and that before it appears, you hear a scream so powerful it paralyzes you, makes you forget how to run. The name Mapinguari comes from Tupi. Mapi means thing. Guari means roar, the roaring thing. For the Ticuna, Mura, and Caradiana peoples, the Mapinguari is not merely a legend. It is a guardian, a spirit of the forest that punishes those who destroy without necessity, greedy hunters, illegal loggers, invaders. Reports of the creature date back centuries. Portuguese Jesuits recorded accounts of a hairy beast the natives fear more than the jaguar. And here is the unsettling detail. The descriptions never change. Century after century, the same creature, the same features, mouth on the chest, reddish fur, nauseating smell, paralyzing scream. How does a legend remain consistent for hundreds of years unless there is something real behind it? In 2007, Brazilian paleontologist David Oren proposed a theory. The Mapinguari could be a surviving megatherium, the giant ground sloth of prehistory, not just any sloth. Megatherium stood up to 13 feet tall, weighed around 4 tons, walked upright on powerful hind legs, and possessed enormous claws. Officially, the species went extinct 10,000 years ago. Officially. Yet fossils found in Acre suggest some species may have survived until 8,000 years ago. The Amazon spans millions of unexplored acres, places where humans have never set foot. Would it be impossible for a relic population to survive? David Oren does not think so. He collected dozens of testimonies from river dwellers, rubber tappers, and indigenous communities, all describing the same thing. Coincidence or ancestral memory of a real encounter? The reports did not stop in the past. In 1999, in the state of Amazonas, a group of researchers from the National Institute of Amazonian Research heard a scream during a nighttime fauna survey, an impossible sound to classify. The next morning, they found circular footprints measuring nearly 16 inches in diameter. No known animal leaves marks like that. In 2005, in Rondonia, loggers abandoned an extraction site after 3 men claimed they saw something enormous standing upright with glowing red eyes. One of them suffered a severe nervous breakdown and never returned to the forest. In 2012, oral accounts from indigenous communities in Acre spoke of the creature's return. Animals near the village began disappearing. Days later, remains were found, torn apart, not by jaguar, not by caiman, but by something witnesses said had removed the head of a tapir with its bare hands. The most recent account surfaced in 2018. A tour guide who asked to remain anonymous was leading foreign visitors along the Rio Negro when before dawn, they heard heavy footsteps moving through the brush. They saw an enormous silhouette, bipedal. He later said, "It wasn't a bear. There are no large bears in the Amazon, but it looked like one. Something like that, only different." He said it smelled like death and looked at them as if it were deciding something. 2 months later, he quit his job. So does the Mapinguari exist? Perhaps the better question is why it needs to exist. For many forest peoples, the Mapinguari is not simply a monster. It is a guardian, a force that punishes needless destruction. The Amazon covers 5.5 million square kilometers, and less than 3% has been thoroughly explored by scientists. New animals are discovered every year. New plants, new ecosystems. In 2013, a new species of monkey was identified. In 2020, a new jaguar subspecies was confirmed. If we are still discovering jaguars, what else might be out there? The Mapinguari reminds us of something uncomfortable. The forest does not belong to us. We belong to it. And perhaps some things are not meant to be found, only respected. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. The story of the Mapinguari lives on in the voices of forest communities, in legends passed from generation to generation. Stories that blend faith, memory, and mystery, reminding us of one essential truth. The forest still holds secrets we do not understand. If this story unsettled you, imagine what else may be waiting beyond the edge of the trees. Leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because the wilderness still has many stories left to tell.